Welcome to another episode of incredibly low budget, low quality YouTube videos with Corey and my special guest, my lovely wife, Nicole. Say hi to your viewing audience. So today we're doing another episode of Corey's Video Corner. We haven't done one in a while. We're going to see how a movie that I remember seeing as a kid has held up over time. And I have the original VHS that my parents bought brand new. It is a 1996 movie called Alaska. It says, Alaska, a missing father, a heroic search, an unforgettable family adventure. 1996. It is 100 and some odd minutes long. 109 minutes long. You're going to watch it with me and talk about it afterwards. Is that okay? We're not taking the video dialogue / video commentary reviews very seriously. So I'm going to read the box. It says, thrilling vistas, spectacular stunts, and irresistible polar bear help make Alaska a trek worth taking. Michael Medved, PBS Sneak Peek Reviews. In this spirited family adventure, two teenagers challenge both nature and themselves on a death-defying mission through the Arctic wilderness. 6 months ago, their mother's death prompted their father to relocate the family to an Alaskan village. Would you relocate your family if I died to an Alaskan village or some godforsaken place? Start anew.
No.
It says they want to build a new life, and the father wants to start a new career as a bush pilot. Then his plane crashes high on the Alaskan mountain range. Sean and Jesse, the kids, set out to find him, and along the way, they rescue an amazingly friendly polar bear cub from a poacher played by Charlton Heston from 10 Commandments and Ben-Hur fame.
Ooh.
It says it tests their courage through sea kayaking, shooting rapids, trekking over glaciers, and climbing mountains. It all adds up to a real-life cliffhanger.
Ooh.
So this movie came out in 1996. I can remember seeing it when I was like 9 or 10 years old. Don't let that cat out! Put him in! Anyway, we're going to start this movie, Alaska, on VHS, and we're going to let you know what we think of it and see if it held up to what I remember as a kid. I could remember bits and pieces, and I remember enjoying it. You've never seen it before, have you? Okay. Do you have high hopes for this?
Oh, yeah.
Do you even really care? I didn't think so. Okay, folks, with that note, we're going to put the movie in and get it up and ready. Cue up the VHS. Somebody rewinds their videos after they watch them. Castle Rock Entertainment. I believe that is the entertainment group that produced the Seinfeld sitcom. Very interesting. Dolby Surround. Closed caption. Rated PG. God, look at all those fingerprints on my TV. This is what happens when you have children, folks. Value your possessions and lock them up. Otherwise, your kids will destroy everything. So we finished watching the Alaska movie. Our oldest son, who is 7, was super into it. I was going to say I give it like a C-, and it has an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was probably some of the worst acting that I've ever seen. It was basically like an angsty teenage brother and sister shouting at each other and arguing the whole time. And it was very much overacted. What would you say? I want to say that I'm now not wearing a shirt and our kids are in the other room and we're finishing up the review of the Alaska movie. So first of all, the one guy that plays the brother plays Clay Campbell, that's your dad's friend, plays Pete Campbell in the TV show Mad Men that you've never seen.
I've seen a little bit of it.
They're just young actors. They're in their early teens. It's like very overdramatic. Charleston Heston is like at the end of his career, and you can tell he doesn't really care. His son directed the movie. Like I said, it got like 14 or 18% on Rotten Tomatoes and 5 out of 10 on IMDb. It was like this rescue epic where their dad's flying a plane and he goes and he crashes his plane in the Alaskan wilderness. You're making very weird faces. I don't know if I'm going to ask you to be a special guest again. You're too distracting with your weird faces.
It's fun.
Tell everybody what you think about the movie.
I wish there was more character development. Like, you didn't really get any character development between the two siblings. They were mostly just yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And the son was very arrogant and rude
early
to his
on.
dad
Early
in the
on.
beginning. Yeah,
Mhm.
so you kind of knew that he was obviously
They were
going to
have
change his attitude. Yeah, and they were
definitely.
going to reconcile. But I wish there were some cute moments like between the two siblings in between. It was kind of just
There really wasn't. They're just like,
no.
let's just be annoying siblings to each other and go on this journey to find our dad. And then let's throw in this poacher scenario where we rescue a baby polar bear that ends up saving the day in the end and makes a somewhat sort of believable story.
No.
Totally unbelievable.
Yeah,
which we don't want to give any.
yeah.
We don't want to give any spoilers as to what
Yeah,
happened.
the polar bear
But it was
part
like a
was unbelievable.
Free Willy
yeah.
moment where it was like, this is just too much, and it was
Yeah.
like ridiculous.
Yeah, it was too much.
If
it
you
was
like
funny,
rappelling and rock climbing, you might be interested in this movie. Could
beautiful
be.
scenery.
Okay, yeah.
Say
So
that.
on the box,
Beautiful
it was
scenery.
like part of the sponsorship of the movie was the Alaskan Board of Tourism. So this movie was kind of a PSA to go visit Alaska. And as I recall, your grandfather visited Alaska in the late 90s.
Yes, he did by himself.
And he always said he wanted to go back there. I've heard that Alaskan cruises are amazing. Don't have the money to go on one, but if I did, I would be there in a more moderate time of the year, though, not in winter.
Mm-hmm. No.
They got that 24 hours of night there.
Yeah, they should have interspersed some loving scenes between the two siblings. Like, oh, you were kind of annoying, but now you're really cool. Or
It wasn't
or
like
it was
that
not
at
like
all.
that.
It was basically like, oh, I'm the older brother, you're the annoying little sister. And it was just this very cheesy movie from the 90s that as a kid you were like, this is great. And now as an adult,
It was
doesn't hold up.
like, why didn't you bring the matches? You were supposed to bring the matches. Like, they weren't prepared either. It was like, did they have a radio to call for help when they found
They
the
were
dad?
totally unprepared
No,
to go
they
on
didn't
a
even bring a
rescue
radio.
mission in the Alaskan wild. It could have been like a Chris McKindle's Into the Wild scenario where they find their dead, emaciated body months later. That was very unbelievable.
that polar bear
like
was
I said,
too much.
I gave it a D rating, so I'm gonna say 2 out of 5 on the 1 to 5 scale. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I'll say 2.5 out of 5 only because of the beautiful scenery.
That was the one redeeming part.
It was really pretty.
And seeing that the guy that played Pete Campbell was one of the main child actors. He wasn't really a kid. He was like in his late teens. He was like 16 or 17. So this is it for the low budget review that probably no one's going to watch. Everyone's going to be like, why am I even watching this? This is trash. There's much better content on the
You
internet.
in Russia watching at 3 a.m. Thank you.
We'll see
Have
you
a
next.
nice evening.
We'll see you next time, folks.